The Devil's Grin number 4 came in the mail about a week ago or so by Alice Graham. This is the story that she's serializing on her Substack. And what I do is I do support her Substack, but I wait for these books to be printed and then I read them as a large comic. These are magazine size. I'm not going to get into what happens or spoil it in any way because the series is ongoing, but I just want to say that in my opinion this is the best issue so far because it does, among the many reasons, there's two things that Alice Graham does extremely well. One, she does a great job of furthering the plot and furthering the character development via dialogue. And it's sort of like theater, where if you watch a play, you have to watch, not only listen to what they're saying, but how they're saying it. What are their physical gestures? And in that case, she's really good at that. She gets you to really get involved with these characters, whether you like them or not. They become very real. And that's what one of the things I really like about her work. These characters are flawed. Some are less flawed than others, but they're very real. And this is partially a horror story, but the horror is done more in a subtle way, like the old school horror movies were, not like today where it's just gratuitous violence and jump scares and all that other stuff. So that's one. Two, this comic does include a scene of two consenting adults having sex. And when she does sex scenes, because this is the same that she did in Dog Biscuits, the sex is graphic. It's pretty real. But in a way it fits the story. So it's not like, okay, we're just going to do this to kind of do this. It's part of the story, and when it happens, it's like you can believe that it feels more realistic, especially if you've like been young and dated a lot. There's just some events lead up to two people having consensual sex, and it feels kind of real in that point. Real good and also real in a bad way. And it's interesting because I don't know if it's because Alex is just a really talented cartoonist or if Alex is a woman or both, but her sex scenes seem more like there's a reason why you're having the sex scenes. And usually when males create a sex scene in a comic, it's more gratuitous, it's more, like more porny. And I'm not saying that this isn't, but at the same time, it seems like it fits the story more, that heat of the moment, that passion kind of thing. So those are two things that I really thought was great about the comic. If you're not reading this, you should. You can read it online through her Patreon. It's $5 a month. If you're reading this and you've read this issue, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't read this issue yet, you should. But I'm really excited to see where this story goes and how it ends. Her stories tend to have a lot of different set pieces and a lot of different people, and you kind of wonder how they all fit in, and some are minor characters and some are major characters, but you really don't know who's a minor character and a major character for a while. And like any good, like I would say, like episodic TV show, you'll start seeing like how certain people fit, and you'll meet people and you'll think they're one way, but then the more you find out about them, you find out they're a different way. Some characters start off as sympathetic and then they're not sympathetic. Some you don't think are sympathetic, but then you find out more about them and then you realize, oh, okay, that's the reason why that person is the way they are. Just really great storytelling and cartooning. I really can't speak more about it. I'm a huge fan of her work, and this is just a great comic. So that's all I got to say, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.